Hey guys, welcome back to THM. I am Rick, the Honest Mechanic, and this is Suzy. If you guys aren't familiar with Suzy, she's our 1978 motorhome, and during the summertime, she becomes our tiny home. We spend a lot of time in here. I will have a playlist linked in the description box if you guys want to see a little bit more on the projects. We've been working on this for a few years, I think now, but it's a very popular project on my channel. So today, what I want to do is, well, check it out. Let's go inside. On the agenda today is we are going to tackle the floor. So the floor, I'm going to show you that in a minute. It's not exactly in very good shape, but it's not in bad shape. But what you see in the pile there is the old floor from our living room, which I kind of saved because, well, we don't really need a lot in here, and that floor is in better shape than what's in here. So without any further ado, let's just get ripping and tearing. So a little bit of a disclaimer here, guys. I am no carpenter, I'm a mechanic, but I am going to do the best I can with this floor. And one of the reasons why we wanted to change the floor is because there's a really weird stain that just does not want to come out. Don't know what it's all about. But we also feel like this floor is going to be a little bit easier to clean, probably a little bit nicer, kind of modernize the old girl here. So there's nothing else to do but really get started, like I said. But again, not being a carpenter, I read somewhere or I heard from someone that you should always put your materials in the same room as you're going to be working for like 2 weeks. This stuff's been in here all winter long, so that should be good. And did you guys see that? There's a drip. Don't tell me she's leaking. Oh, what's that? That wasn't there before. We got some water coming from the AC unit. I had it tarped over, so maybe it's just, look at that, there's a literal drop. And now she's going really good. I guess that's something we got to deal with. Let's put a bucket for now. Well, it's a bucket for now. Darn it. Look at that go. That's a problem. Well, my original idea and my original intent was to try and save this stuff, but it is, unless I'm doing this wrong, it is almost impossible to remove in one piece. And actually I would have to go out and repaint it and do a whole bunch of work to this anyways, so hopefully it's not very expensive. Look at that. So we're just going to take it all out. Only got 2 pieces left, and then we'll, I guess, take out the floor. Alright guys, so we're at the point where we're going to pull the old linoleum out. What do you guys think is underneath? You know, comment down below and let me know. But I think I'm not the first one trying to do this. I'll show you why. Right here, look at this. Other than, oh look, there's a little spider there trying to make his way in. So it's been done before, because this I guess would have been the original. And what is under here? Oh. Okay, so screws. Looks like maybe this door, or I mean, the entrance is always going to have some kind of moisture coming in because your feet, and if it's raining outside, your muddy boots, whatever. But this looks like we need to go even further here because it's kind of soft here. This doesn't look too bad actually, but if you step on it. Okay, so there's been a repair clearly. All right, well, let's peel away all of this old floor, see what the rest of it's like. Hopefully we don't find too many other issues. So whatever other issues that do arise, we're just going to deal with them. Not going to be a big deal. I just want the floor to lay down as flat as possible and, you know, look as good as possible. So let's see what we can do. That would be best if it all came together, but this isn't it. Oh yeah. Awesome. Okay, what if I start over here? Oh yeah. Awesome. Or not so awesome? I don't know. Alright guys, so the floor is completely out, and I'm happy to report I don't think it's that bad. I mean, if you look around, it's still, I mean, I actually kind of like it, because it could have been way worse. I could have found some really weird stuff underneath here, maybe some rotten wood, soft wood somewhere, or a bad spot of who knows what. But it's in really good shape, and actually the only damage, which I pointed out earlier, is at the entrance. So I'm going to end up having to cut out a little section there. And oh, I want to point out too, the leak from the roof isn't actually a leak. It's still a little bit wet now, but I figured out why. When I had it parked, by the way, in our area it's been raining for the last 2 weeks, like legit. I think it's like 12 or 13 days. So I had it parked at quite a bit of an angle to keep it out of the way, and I think some of the water was making its way in, because it's never ever leaked. And yeah, so yeah, it's the only, like I said, the only problem that we may have is over here, right at the entrance. So I'm gonna probably, see, this is kind of soft. It's actually pressed wood, so I don't want that. I'm gonna cut it back, probably right up to here, and I'm gonna put a section, because this is rotten, and that's probably what they were trying to do here. So I think, and if you look at the doorway, the sill kind of leans in this way. So I think the water was pooling up into here. So I'm going to see if I can do anything about that. Maybe put something in there. Oh, it looks like somebody tried to silicone it. So I'm going to try and do a better job at that. So that's about it. Then we start laying the floor. Alright, so here is proof that I am not a carpenter. Clearly, I mean, a regular good carpenter wouldn't have made a mistake over here, making an extra cut. And I don't think any carpenter would use 2 separate sizes of screws, but I do, because, well, that's for safety reasons, so that way they're anti-tampering. Nobody can come up and pull up the floor inadvertently. And you know, I added some, you know, fancy, you know, straps here so that everything is tight. Who am I kidding? It's terrible, but it works. It's stronger than it was. And if you look closely, there's a hump in this floor, and I can't figure out what it is. It's got just a little bit of a hump right here. I don't know. I looked underneath. Everything is there. Everything seems fine. The frame is in great shape, but it's only there. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. So I'm going to have to work around it. But let's put down the first few boards. Alright, so I know, guys, you're not supposed to screw this stuff down. But this is a motorhome, and I know it's a floating floor. I don't want it floating while I'm driving. So I'm only going to be putting a couple of screws on the starter strips, just to hold them in place in the corners. And after that, maybe a couple of screws on the last few strips. And then, yeah. But hey, look at that. I mean, it's the first board to start. It's the next morning, and this is how far we got yesterday. We're almost there. We're about halfway through. But I learned a few things. One of those things being measure 15 times and cut only once, because if you cut, it's really hard to put stuff back together. Yeah, so this particular piece here, you know, that was a 3-cut attempt because I measured I had all my numbers right. I just didn't measure from the right side of the board. Anyways, that was kind of a pain. So the next one, which will be this one here, hopefully I can get that one right, because I'm running out of boards that are, let's say, new, because all the other boards are cuts, and I'm going to use those for underneath the table and at the doorway. And something else I learned is that skill saws are only skillful with the person that is skilled to use them. So if that makes any sense, yeah, so with this guy, skill saws are only good to make things too short. Alright guys, so the floor is fully in, minus the trim of course, because that's the next part. But look at this, it's looking kind of like what I had imagined in my mind. So obviously we're going to be doing a lot more cleanup. There's going to be a lot more interior work this season, because everything else seems to be running pretty good mechanically. Still got a problem with the choke, but yeah, check it out. I mean, it's actually space, like back here anyways, fairly spacious. I can almost do the cha-cha here, huh? Cha-cha-cha, do cha-cha. Sorry, I do ballroom dancing with my wife. I don't know, I thought I'd add that in there. Anyways, cool, so let's move on to trim. And yet another day. That's what, 3 days in one video, something like that. I know guys, I apologize. Some of these videos take a long time to film, and not to mention I've got a couple of other projects on the go, one of which you guys are aware of, and another one that you're not aware of, so that, I mean, keep watching for that. But I did find some trim, and actually this trim comes from my father-in-law, so thank you very much for that. And this is all cedar. He had some cedar planks that he actually had you know, milled down to 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, and this stuff smells awesome. So I'm going to put it down all the way around the border of the floor, of course, and it should look really nice. I like the way it's looking already. So let's go to hyperspeed again, and let's watch me work. And just like that, guys, we are completely done with the floor. It's not exactly true. I still got to put a piece of trim over here, one in the bathroom, and one at the entrance. But check it out. It's fully down. All the trim is installed. I love how it turned out. It looks so nice compared to what it was anyways. And it smells delicious in here. Well, I don't know, is cedar really delicious? I don't know, but it smells good because of, you know, when you're cutting it, the wood, I don't know, there's something about the wood, the cedar wood, it's really, really nice smelling. So this is what it looks like now, and this is what it looked like before. And I'm going to end the video here, guys, because you know what, it's getting a little bit late. I'm running just all my lights in here. Probably noticed that it's getting a little bit dark outside. So again, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it, guys. You guys are always there taking a look at my videos, making some awesome comments. So thank you for that. And I will catch you all in the next video.